The couple who traded Hollywood for a farm, the love story of Ian Somerhalder and Nikki Reed. In 2022, the actors moved to live on a farm. I made a conscious choice to give my child the most normal life possible. My greatest joy is watching my daughter run through the mud without shoes, Reed revealed. Nikki Reed is a famous American actress who gained her greatest popularity after her role in the famous saga Darkness. In the movie, Nikki successfully played the role of an incredibly beautiful vampire, Rosalie. The actress had a turbulent youth, and in 2011 she married Paul McDonald, a member of the show American Idol. Ian Somerhalder is also an American actor and also became famous after his role in a fantasy series, but not in Darkness, but in Vampire's Days. Ian, like Nikki, appeared on the screens in the image of an incredibly beautiful and seductive vampire. A turbulent personal life and frequent change of partners were in Ian. But the actor always strived for family life, wanted to create a family, have a child and push his career to the background. His partners were not yet ready for such a life. And the last of his romance was tied with a colleague on the set of the series Vampire's Days, Nina Dobrev. The feelings between Nikki and Ian flared up in 2014. Before that, the actors knew each other for many years, but they were connected only good buddy relations. The beginning of Ian and Nikki's relationship was not an easy one. Ian and his then lover Nina Dobrev were in close contact with Nikki and her husband. At that time, the girls were best friends and often shared common photos on social networks, spent time together and, as it turned out later, the beauties had to share one man. After Nikki and Ian stopped hiding their feelings, the friendship of the actresses came to an end. The two couples had a falling out, and after a while, Ian and Nikki got back together. The actress was accused of betraying her friend, and the wave of hatred was so strong that Ian had to stand up for Nikki publicly. First, Ian and Nikki covered by the same friendship. They began to appear together more and more often. On a morning jog, in cafes, while shopping together. However, stubbornly rejected the love affair, which in the meantime was impossible not to notice. Already 3 weeks after the beginning of their affair, the lovers began to live under the same roof and finally stopped hiding their relationship. In January 2015, the actors announced their engagement. As a token of love, Ian gave Nikki an engagement ring in the shape of a flower, the middle of which is adorned with a dazzling diamond of 4 carats in size, the circle of which is decorated with round diamonds. For such a declaration of love, Somerhalder gave about $75,000. 9 months after their romance began, the famous actors, who were the talk of the world, had a lavish wedding, which took place in Topanga Canyon in Malibu. On the day of the ceremony, Ian posted a romantic message on his Twitter with the words, "The most beautiful morning of my life." The ceremony was attended only by the couple's family and friends, and the press was not allowed to attend. In 2017, the actors had a daughter, Bodhi Soley Reed Somerhalder. That same year, Nikki posted a joint photo with Nina Dobrev and Ian and wrote a lengthy post about how long she had been introduced by the story of the female feud. Let's turn the page together and peacefully enter the next chapter. Let's use this as an example of how important it is to stop this trend of writing terrible headlines about women, Nikki wrote. Ian Somerhalder and Nikki Reed's subscribers often joke, everything is so good in their family that it's not even interesting. And it's true. If you judge only by their social networks, you can conclude that the couple simply has no personal conflicts and no problems with the upbringing of their 5-year-old daughter Bodhi. Treason, jealousy, divorce. It seems that these two are not even familiar with such terms. However, the head of the Star family, in one of his interviews once admitted that they still have problems. It turns out that Ian has a rather complex character, because of which he can provoke a conversation on elevated tones. And with the appearance of a child, the situation has only worsened. I'm a tornado. It's very hard for me to reckon with some things. I realize I can't always be right, but I can't always suppress the raging whirlwind of emotions, the Star dad revealed during the interview. He also admitted that the first step to a truce is always Nikki. As Ian jokes, it is because she is much wiser and more responsible than him. It is interesting that the spouses consider 2021 as a test of compatibility and a test of strength. At that time, Ian began to have serious financial problems, because of which suffered reputation, career and relationships with friends of the actor. He tried to create his own production company, but failed. To repay debts, he began to work 3 times as much and took on several projects at once. Alas, this was not the best way to affect his well-being and communication with his family. My woman was very patient, thank her for that. In 2022, the actors revealed that they moved to live on a farm. I made a conscious choice to give my child the most normal life possible. My greatest joy is watching my daughter run through the mud without shoes, Reed said. In June 2023, they had a son. Nikki Reed helps Ian in expressing his position in favour of animals, and Ian helps her in charity work. Common goals, support, and compromise. It is the combination of these 3 factors the couple consider the main secret of a happy life together. In addition, the importance of joint leisure time. Nikki and Ian regularly do sports together, play tennis, and in winter go on vacation to ski. The couple, as real vampires should, do not age at all and always look just fine.